My name's Daniel Noema. I'm half Cook Island Samoan. I grew up in a family where my father was addicted to drugs and alcohol. So there was a lot of violence at home when he wasn't on the stuff. You know, we're a poor family, so it was quite often where he didn't have the money to buy it. And so he would take that violence out on my mum or myself. So, you know, inside there was a lot of anger and hatred towards my father. And so when someone would make me angry or upset me or do something bad to me, the only way I knew how to handle that was to lash out at them. And that's what I saw as a kid. And so I was living out in South Auckland for a while, started getting into the same things that my father was in, drugs and alcohol. And then a family friend of ours, who was a pastor of a church, pulled me out of South Auckland and moved me to West Auckland. And, you know, hoping that would change my path, I guess. But, you know, being me and not really dealing with the root problem, I ended up hanging out with the same sort of guys, just in a different area. And so when I hit 15, that's when he decided to pull me out of school and give me a job. I wanted to prove myself to this guy because I never had that father figure, you know, and so this was the first man that really took interest in my life. And so I wanted to make him proud of me. And so that's why I worked my butt off and got to where I am today, because of that opportunity that he gave me. And, you know, he gave me that mentoring, and he's spoken into my life, and it's something that, you know, that I always cherish, because it shows that someone actually cared about me. And so every time I speak about that situation, I sort of get emotional, because I know how much he cared. And yeah, so it means a lot. It means a lot. Naturally, I'm not a confident person, and putting myself out there. You know, my wife and I started up a trust, a youth trust called Generation Ignite. And at a young age, probably around about 17, 18, I wanted to help kids that were going through the same situation that I did. And so, you know, it was a passion of mine for a very long time. And so it's only been about 2-3 years now that we've been running this. And so we decided to get out and step out of our comfort zone and start something up. We run a community youth group on a Friday nights, and a lot of the kids that come are kids that we've just met on the street, you know, for the first time, and we really want to connect with them and then inspire them and equip them. For me, growing up, we didn't have much food, so we had a lot of support from other organisations, from family members, from church members, who gave us food when we needed it. And so the reason why we start up a food bank, a community food bank, which we give out every Friday. Where I come from and what I've seen with my father, I'd never thought of being able to do what I'm doing today. I knew in my heart I had to amend the relationship between my father and I. And it was hard because, you know, of what he'd done. I hadn't seen him for a few years. And I knocked on the door and I sat down and we spoke for a while, you know, and I told him I forgave him. And that hatred that I had for him isn't there anymore. I think when I look back and see where I'd come from, it makes me appreciate where I am now. That whole picture in front of me was just a blur. But now that I'm closer to where God wants me to be, it's becoming more, you know, more real. I guess more easier to see the path that He's taking me down.